Welcome to the BrwnGrlz Collective, where community isn't just a word, it's a practice. Here we gather to read, to listen, and to tell the stories that shape our culture. From book club conversations that challenge how we think and feel, to interviews that spotlight voices, building, healing, and leading in real time. This is a space for honest dialogue, shared wisdom, and collective growth. We believe in culture with context, conversations with purpose, and community that shows up. These are our stories, these are our conversation, and this is the BrwnGrlz Collective. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another BrwnGrlz Collective interview. Whether you're joining us live or watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. So to tell you a little bit about BrwnGrlz Collective, our mission is simple. It's based on community, culture, and conversations. Every month, we sit down with leaders, entrepreneurs, educators, creatives, and change makers who are making a real impact in our community. It's either through their work or sharing their stories. Our August theme is the next chapter begins with you. So every new chapter starts with a decision, and sometimes that decision is exciting, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. But growth begins the moment we decide to move forward. This month, we're exploring what it means to embrace new beginnings, take ownership of our future, and recognize that the next chapter of our lives begins with us. So today's guest has spent more than 25 years serving others through hospitality. And what began as a vision inspired by her mother became a business rooted in love, service, and legacy. Through faith, perseverance, and purpose, she's transformed one of life's most difficult seasons into an opportunity to honor her mother's memory while creating meaningful experiences to others. So please help us welcome Miss Janine Ryans.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Janine.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So before we dive into the conversation, I would love our community to get to know you a little bit. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what inspired the journey from Rosie with Love? And just, brief, because we're going to get into it. I don't want you to give away all the sauce. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm Janine Ryans. I am a super young 43 years old, and I am the founder of From Rosie with Love. Like Desiree said, I have been in the hospitality business for over 25 years. I love to serve. I'm a natural servant. So just being able to help people, to give them the service that they need with all the love that I have is what inspires me. So yeah, my story is, I think, an amazing one.
Well, I love that. And I do, again, thank you for coming on today and letting us dig deeper into Janine, right? Now, before we begin, we do like to have fun, right? So we have this game called Pick a Category, and I'm going to put the choices up and you get to tell us which category you want. All right. So the categories are Provide, Protect, Evolve, Reset, Realign, Next Chapter, Growth and Leadership, Legacy, and Finish the Sentence. So out of those 6 categories, which one are you choosing and why, before you answer the question?
Next chapter.
Cool.
And I am choosing Next Chapter because that's literally what this is for me. Next chapter, new beginnings.
So cool beans. So we're going to find out because I'm nosy. What does your next chapter look like? So we're going to remove this off the screen. Go ahead. Tell us, girl.
My next chapter looks like me choosing me, me taking everything that I've been through and not allowing it to have me be stagnant. We all go through things and we have to use those points to help us evolve, to help us grow, to be better people. And also just, let's see, the best way to put it, I have to tie that legacy in with it too, because for me, the legacy part is my next chapter, and it's my mom's legacy that I'm choosing to continue.
Thank you for sharing. I really love that. And let's see what the next chapter unfolds for our interview. All right. So it's always interesting to hear how our guests answer these questions. So we went out into the community and asked some of these very same questions, and let's see what they had to say. Hi, this is Desiree with the BrwnGrlz Collective, and I'm here in Charleston at the Juneteenth Festival celebrating culture, community, freedom, and conversation. What we like to do with BrwnGrlz is play a little game, and the game is called Pick a Category. So I'm going to ask you guys to choose a category. And the category choices that we have are provide and protect, provide, protect, evolve, reset, realign, next chapter, growth and leadership, or legacy. Which one?
You know what? I'm going to go with growth and leadership.
Okay, growth and leadership. So how are you growing into the next version of yourself?
I feel like I'm constantly every day taking steps to evolve to the next version of myself. Every day through different people, I'm learning something new about myself. Everybody is mirrors. Mm-hmm. So I love to learn. I'm very curious. And so I'm always being taught things about myself. And so I'll pick next chapter.
What is something you've always wanted to do but haven't started yet?
Something I always want to do but haven't started yet, I would say swimming.
Mm-hmm. And why is that? It's hot. I would love to jump in the pool right now.
I just think historical trauma. Like, I've been terrified of water. Like, I've been to the pool, been to beaches, but actually just going into like an open body of water, like how we see right behind us, like something I've been terrified of, but I do want to experience that.
I'm going to say legacy. Okay. I'm going to say legacy. What do you want to be remembered for?
Okay, I want to be remembered for cultural awareness. That's why the name of my brand is Naturally Geechee. I don't know if we said that in the beginning. Yeah, but it's Naturally Geechee. And for me, it's very important to have my name and my brand because I don't want to be ashamed of where I'm from and who I am. You know what I mean? And I want people to remember me for being resilient, because my brand started because of my lymphatic condition, and it makes me different. You know, it makes me look different to the outside world looking in. You know what I mean? And I want to be a voice for people who look different. You know what I mean? To hold your head high and do your thing and move with dignity. You know what I mean? And never let anything discount you or stop you from being the greatest you that you can be.
Alrighty. So now before we begin today's conversation, I would like to ask you one more question. But before you answer, I would actually want you to hear what the community had to say, and I want to hear your response, okay?
Okay.
And I'm with the BrwnGrlz Collective here in Charleston at the Juneteenth Festival, celebrating culture, community, freedom, and conversation. Over the past few months, we've been asking our community some important questions. In June, we explored what it means to provide, to protect, and to evolve. In July, we're asking our community to reset, realign, and to consider what's next. And as we look ahead for August, we're asking one more question. What does your next chapter look like? Because every new beginning starts somewhere, and the next chapter begins with you. So I'm here speaking with, if I can get your name and your age and where you're from.
Yes, Stafford, 45. I'm originally from Charleston, but I live in Charlotte.
My name is Doris. I'm 44, originally from Somerville, but I live in Charlotte also.
All righty, so we got Charlotte and Charleston, two big cities. All righty. All right, before we begin, I'm going to ask both of you a question, okay? What role do you think each of us should play in building the next chapter of our community? Which one wants to go first?
Building the next chapter, I'll go first. Communication, information, making sure that we can make informed decisions about things, especially who advocates for us, who speaks for us, who has our best interests that can actually be our voice. So I think rallying, I guess we can start with the people closest to us to make sure that they're being as active as possible. I guess if we start small, it'll grow, right? So
the power of network.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that basically was what I was going to piggyback on. We have to network. We have to get together collectively, share our knowledge, don't gatekeep, vote, complete the census. You know, all those things are important because those things add value and dollars back to our community.
And before we let you go, are you guys on Instagram? Do you want people to follow? You have a business, or so somebody you want to plug, shout out?
Jesus.
Amen.
JESUS. Okay. But no, seriously, my Instagram, if anybody would like to follow me, I am based out of Charlotte, but Lavender and Gray Luxe Events. So if you need any events, I will come to Charleston.
Oh, you an event planner?
Yes, ma'am.
Girl, yeah,
so that's my.
We about to follow,
yes.
girl. I need some.
Yes,
okay.
that's my blossoming business, my passion project, and I would love to service anyone because hey, that's what we're here for. for our community and beyond. So yes, lavender and gray Lux events. Yes.
And what about you?
Yes, I'm all things _ Doris. I believe that's it on Instagram. Doris Freeman. I guess I'll share my name because, hey, why not? And I work professionally in pharmaceuticals. However, I have the gift of hospitality. So when you book her for your events, let me know if you need some day of direction. I'm your girl. Call me.
And if you need somebody to pray you out of something,
Call
me.
All righty. Well, I thank you guys so much. This has been the BrwnGrlz Collective here at the Charleston Juneteenth Festival, highlighting businesses, conversations, perspectives, and the voices shaping our community. The next chapter begins with you. So if you'd like to support the work we're doing through our interviews, book club, community programming, and experiences like this, visit the link in our bio to donate, support, and to stay connected with the BrwnGrlz Collective. And make sure you're following the BrwnGrlz Collective for more community, culture, and conversation. See you next time.
Now do you see why I said this was for you, boo-boo? So whatever you prayed for, whatever you was asking God, he said you needed, this is your confirmation. Okay.
Baby.
Was there anything that stood out to you? And I'll ask the question again. What role do you believe each of us should play in building the next chapter of our community? The first woman was talking about conversations community. The second one was talking about voting and census. And, you know, what do you think?
And I like what both of them said. And I know she said communication as well. And it made me think about the fact that leadership is the first thing that I thought of when that question came about, because it's like, whether it starts with us, the little people, to get out here, push the impact to vote, push the impact to advocate for others. Again, no gatekeeping, doing all of that stuff. Yes, that's active communication, but it comes to us trickling up, not down. Well, us, however you want to put it, moving up instead of down, where it comes to the leadership perspective from those of us like you doing this podcast, me advocating for my business, advocating for others, which I'm big at. Making sure that people are voting, especially our young people, getting our younger community involved, because the generation is different from when we were brought about. Making sure that they're voting for the proper leadership, know that what we're doing, know that their voice does matter. So the communication leadership, I feel like all that kind of tied up into each other. And I love the way both of them said that.
Thank you. And I appreciate your perspective. And I think that's the perfect place to begin today's conversation. So going into our interview component, you spent more than 25 years in the hospitality industry before launching From Rosie with Love. What inspired you to turn a vision into a business, and what has that journey been like for you?
Ooh, all right. So I have always wanted to have my own restaurant. I love to cook. Crazy thing is, my mom, best cook ever. Nobody can tell me anything different. She was the best cook, the best baker, but she never allowed us in the kitchen with us, and I with her. And I'm the same way. So I learned from afar by watching, tasting, that kind of thing. And that is kind of what made me want to be not a chef. I don't feel like I'm a chef. I don't know what to call myself. I'm gonna think about that. Because I don't feel like I'm a chef. Huh?
The culinary artiste.
I like it. A culinary artiste. I like that. Yes, that's me, because I don't want to just put myself in a box where it comes to things. I love to try stuff. I love different things. I love people, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it's been there. The thought has been there. So I'll go back to where the vision really came about. We were in Atlanta 5 years ago celebrating my friend's birthday. And we had, went out to the club, that kind of stuff. Wasn't even excited about it, but got back and, we just started having a good time, having conversations. And I went to sleep at the table, remember vividly, went to sleep at the table. And I had the most vivid dream of my cafe, of how it should have been set up. The outside, the name was Rosie's Cafe, everything. And I snapped, woke up out of my sleep 5:30 in the morning and called my mom. And I told her about it. I said, it wasn't like, it wasn't a dream. It's one of those, this is surreal, almost like what do they call it, when deja vu kind of experience. And I was like, okay, so we gonna think about this. And she was always my biggest advocate. She was like, well, Janine, you can do it. You can do anything. I've always told you, you're my adventure child. So whatever you want to do, do it how you need to do it. And my mom's name was Rosemary, by the way. So that's how Rosie came about. So boom, the next morning we were out in Atlanta looking for brunch places to go. My friend was like, well, let's just go downtown and see what we can find. First thing we can find so we can head home. We rolled up to the place. It was 3 places side to side. She was like, okay, let's go over here because it's a lot of people over there, but it's not a long line. Walked in the front. You know the name of the place? Rosie's Cafe. And I was like, okay, God, I hear you. I hear you. Okay. And walked in. When I say it was almost verbatim of what I envisioned and how I wanted menus, all of that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, all right. So this is, let's keep this in the forefront. And then, so that was in April, the first week of April. The second week of April is when we found out my mom had colon cancer. And so, everything, was still there. She and I still talked about it, but it kind of was shifted to her being my priority and put on the forefront of everything. Right before my sister got married and everything, it was a week before my sister's wedding when she found out. But, she was in good spirits. We talked about everything. She looked good. We talked about, all of the great things. And we still talked about my business, but, like I said, she was my priority. So 4 long years, we fought, and she fought a great fight. She was the strongest person I knew. And July 14th of last year, she did lose her battle. The last, I would say 2 weeks before she passed was really, really hard. It was a lot of, trying to get things in order, but watching the strongest person who who is your biggest motivator, like deteriorate in front of your eyes, like not knowing how to handle things, and this person being the person who is helping you do everything, like your person. My mom was legit my best friend. When I say she knew everything about my life, she knew everything. I didn't keep a secret from her. She was that person who, if I was feeling away or I was hurting, she lived in Greenwood, by the way. I live in Columbia. And she would call me and say, what's wrong? Like, that's the kind of connection that we had.
Oh, she could feel you. Yeah.
She could feel me. Literally feel me.
And I'm going to stop you right here because you're actually leading into our second question. You shared that your business was inspired by a vision you had to honor your mother, and not long after she was diagnosed with cancer. How do you feel that season of your life shaped both your purpose and the direction of your business?
It shaped my purpose by allowing me to see things differently, if that makes sense. Where instead of just focusing on the business, I decided I needed to focus on the why behind the business and the bones, the good structure of the business, not just speaking of just cooking good food. No, it's the doing things with love, with strength, watching her as she fought with that strength and still had that same love and compassion that she had. And that's the kind of bones and structure and foundation that I decided to put for my business. So that's how that season helped me where it comes to that, and even changing or altering the name a little bit to From Rosie with Love instead of like Rosie's Cafe or anything like that. It just really, it intensified the passion of wanting to do it. And a little bit after she passed, well, about 6 months after she passed, I lost my job in March. We were laid off in March. And even though I was already again in my head, like, yeah, I'm just tired of working for other people. I'm tired of, that kind of thing. And when I lost my job, I didn't even think, I didn't even care. Didn't care. I didn't think.
So you didn't care. And I definitely understand that, especially the biggest shock, the biggest person, your backbone, everything, and how you described her. She sounded like she was an amazing woman. And, I'm sorry for your loss. But I do have to ask this question. After losing her so unexpectedly, and like you said, you also lost your job, something after that moment there was a decision that you made to move forward with the vision God had placed on your heart. What gave you the courage to begin a new chapter during one of the most difficult times in your life?
So it was July when she passed. It was about August or September. I was depressed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was depressed still. I have my days, I have my moments. I take it a second at a time, not a day at a time. And I had a complete meltdown one day, like whole anxiety attack on the floor in here by myself. And when I came to, I cut my locks off and didn't even know that I had did it until I saw the videos the next morning. That's how out of it I was, of me doing it. And at that moment, I took that as my healing moment. Sometimes people tell you like your strength is in your hair and that kind of thing. I don't know if it's the strength was in my hair or the pressure it was holding on. The weight was in my hair. And because my hair had started thinning, coming out in some places because of the stress, because of the depression, because of anxiety. And I just couldn't. And after that moment, I dyed it. And I was like, you know what? It's time to start healing. It's time to start the healing process. It's time to figure out what the next step is, because like I said, she was the strongest person I knew, and she would have never wanted to see me like that. Even days that I have now, she still wouldn't want to see me like this. But I knew after that point that I had to make a difference for her, not for me.
So you often describe your mother as your biggest inspiration, your motivation, and the best cook you know. How do you intentionally honor her legacy through the work you do and the experiences you create for others?
Because for me, where it comes to, again, I'm not a chef. Like you said, I love culinary artists. I love people. And I think I've said that already. I love to help. I love to make sure that people are okay. And a lot of times I do it not making sure I'm okay, but making sure other people are okay. And I take her, because she could not have anything and have everything, and make sure that everybody else was good. And that's where I am where it comes to my food. I am big on, I see a lot of places overcharge people and under portions, that kind of thing. And I'm like, that's not what I want to be known for, because that's not who my mom was. My mama was an overabundance person. If she could give you $5, she would give you 10 just to make sure that you didn't have to come back for 5 more. And with my food, I try to do that. I make sure that my portions are hearty. Everything that I do it with love. I can't say that any other way. I make sure that my food speaks the integrity and the values that my mom instilled into me, to make sure that people know that this is not Janine. It's Janine exuding Rosemary, because that's just who she was. And to make sure that that legacy continues, so that my children could see it and see like, this is the person that your grandmother was.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I
question.
love the name. I love the name. So every event you create carries your mother's name and the values that she's instilled in you, which are love, integrity, and excellence. What do you hope people remember when they experience From Rosie with Love? And what legacy do you hope you're building for future generations?
Just that, the love, that these things are very important, like for daily life. The love, to show people love. God loved everybody, and that's how she was. The integrity, making sure that everything that you do is done with so much integrity that people look at it and be like, man, I remember that potato that I got from her. I don't know what she did. You know how people in the South say she put her foot in that. I don't know what she did. Like, I want them to, when they think about the name From Rosie with Love, yes, they said again, Janine, oh, she did that, but she did that because of her mom. I want to make sure that everything, like I said, exudes her and who she was and what she instilled into me, and the legacy that I want to continue to build and to grow. It's beyond that. Like, I don't know how we're going to get into more of the conversation, but this is just the catering, and the food is just the foundation. I am working on a nonprofit like you, where it comes to that. It's going to be Rosie's Fight Club. And it's going to be a place where advocation, education, and all of that for colorectal cancer I plan on doing like galas, all that kind of thing, where people can come and be a part of and know the community. My mom was also a person who, again, just quick sidebar. I had a sister who passed 11 years ago, and we took her children. And when we took her children, which were 5 of them, my mom, the youngest one, my mom had, for the most part, her name is Jordan, and she is a fighter as well. She has had heart surgery twice already, major heart surgery, open heart surgery. And so my mom, again, was a giver. And so she always gave to places like St. Jude for research, so Charles, MUSC, because that's where Jordan had both of her surgeries, that kind of thing, to make sure that, she was helping continue the growth of the education for those things as well, the heart, that kind of thing. And so I got that from her where it comes to it. So that's why I want to start my foundation, so that I can continue to pour into those kind of things, but mine will be centered more towards the colorectal foundations, colorectal research, colorectal education, to make sure that we know the things that we need to do to take proper precaution, the signs we need to see, just staying on top of our health, period. And hopefully it'll be an impact on more than the local. We're trying to impact the world with this.
So I know we asked you before, and let me just say, with everything you shared, again, I believe that this interview was for you today, honestly. From looking from the outside looking in, you do not look like what you've been through. And I'm not saying like I would expect anyone to look crazy, but I'm just saying that, every time I see you, you're always smiling and laughing and stuff. I've never personally seen that. And so again, I'm sorry for everything that you're going through, but what I've learned in life is, we go through things to form us into being who we're supposed to be. And I know that your mom is most definitely proud of who you have become today. And so going into our August theme, I know I asked you when we first came in, to choose a question, and you chose that one. But after, this discussion, what do you think, or what does the next chapter begins with you? Like, how does that phrase, or what does that phrase mean to you now personally?
The next chapter beginning with me.
Mm-hmm.
Me being the change that I want to see. We all know, like we both just said, we all go through things. Life be lifing. But because I changed my life maybe like 5 years ago and really started, I've always been a Christian. Let me take that back. I've always been a Christian, always, been in the church, love God. But as you get older and the more you start aligning yourself with like-minded people and people who you see like, man, I love what they're doing, and start talking, again, having these conversations, building these relationships. I'm big on relationships. And that is what made me want to be more of the change, aligning myself with God, not just me. And yes, I said it is the me season, but that's the season that I feel like God has put the purpose for me to be, not the seasons before where I was doing things on my own and trying to drive that boat that I kept crashing into the water every time. Instead, I've been just leaning. And you say, I don't look like what I go. Thank you, girl. I appreciate it, because baby, the girl be in it over here.
You said
I'll
something
be in these feelings.
No, you said something that was really on point. And I was, girl, I'm on social media all the time, and sometimes it is not healthy but you really said something, and it's confirmation for me is, when you said about going and trying to, drive the boat and keep crashing in the ocean, and God's like, yeah, because I didn't teach you how to be a sailor. Like, I'm the sailor, let me sail. Like, I know where we going. Can you let me do my job? And that's how I be feeling. And so, like, as like today, in all of all things, everything that go, I'm not even going to let that bother me. Like, you know, because in the sense of things worked out and I knew they were going to work out the way that he wanted to work out, not the way that I wanted it to work out, because his plans are always greater than the ones that we have for ourselves. And he continues to amaze me every day. I'm never shocked with him. But I do have our last question of the evening. To someone's watching, and if they're facing an unexpected ending or wondering whether they're capable of starting over, what encouragement would you leave with them?
Ooh, faith. Um, that mustard seed is real. That mustard seed is real. Leaning on God, like honestly, leaning on God, but never forgetting, you know, yeah, we might say, oh, I want to give up. I'm tired. Lord, I don't want to do this anymore. We have to think about who gave up on us. God never gave up on us. Most of us, our parents never gave up on us. So who are we to give up on ourselves? Again, be the change that you want to see. Most of us have children. Some of us don't. So for those, even the ones who don't have children, think about the people who, nieces, nephews, whoever. Somebody's always watching you. Somebody sees you. They see what you're going through. They know that, oh my God, like she just lost her mom, or she just lost, you know, her dog, a child, whatever. But when they see you, again, like you said with me, what are you exuding? You have to make sure that it's okay to go through it, but we can't just sit there. Feel all the feelings. I'm going to tell you now, feel all of the feelings and then give it to God and go to sleep. Give it to God and go to sleep, but feel it, honey. Scream, yell, punch something. I found my, you know, I have people who I just call and cry if I need to. I only have 2 people, but I do have people who sometimes I just have to. If I'm losing it, I have to. But you got to be able to lean and know that you don't have to do this stuff alone. It's always somebody going through what you're going through and probably more. So find an outlet. That's another thing. Find an outlet. Therapy is real and therapy is great. So everybody, you know, everybody might not have insurance, might not be. Find you a person. Because I've always been that person for a lot of people. And that helps me being able to help other people. But everybody ain't like that. So just know that you don't have to do it alone. Know that you have God, of course. And anytime you have to talk out loud, just find somebody to let it out with. You never know how many people would actually be happy that you're doing it instead of, you know, caging it in, pressure bust pipes. And those things bad on your health. They can cause aneurysms. You got people depending on you too, including yourself. You got a purpose, and God has.
It sounded like you said when you was talking to me, and I was like, "Damn, what she know that I don't." Like, I lost the last bit that she said because I was like, "What did you? Damn, you ain't had to come for me like
all
that."
In my business.
But Janine, I do want to thank you so much for spending time with us today. Before we let you go, can you tell everyone where they can connect with you, learn more about your work, where they can get some good food and continuing to follow your journey?
Absolutely. So again, I am on Facebook. My name is Janine Nicole on Facebook. I have a Facebook business page and it is From Rosie with Love. It is linked to my personal page. My personal page, it's completely open. So please feel free to follow me. I'm always posting things on there as well for both. I have Instagram for both. My Instagram is It's Me Mocha, MOCHA. It's Me Mocha. And my Instagram for my business is also From Rosie with Love. But with the love, the O is a 0 because the O was already taken. So it's From Rosie with Love, but in 0 there. I also have TikTok. I think my TikTok is Miss Ananaj. I don't be on there much. I just scroll on there. I don't post a lot on there. I need to do better. So I can definitely get that out there more. But I'm in the Columbia area. I do surrounding areas. I'm working on doing pop-up shops. I'm working on a lot. like when I say stay tuned, it's about to be lit around here. And I'm saying that because
next chapter is a great read.
Listen, the reaping season is here, and I am here for it all. For it all. So.
Well, Janine, thank you so much again for joining us and sharing your story, your wisdom, and your heart with our community. And thank you to everyone who joined us today, whether, again, you're watching live or catching the replay. If today's conversation inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Every conversation helps us continue building stronger communities through storytelling and connection. So to stay tuned with everything happening at BrwnGrlz Collective, including upcoming interviews, book club discussions, community events, and more, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms and visit our website. And until next time, this has been Community Culture and Conversations. See you later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. And definitely visit BrwnGrlzCollective.org or Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Can't wait to see you next time.